Have you ever pondered where in the world Americans are not particularly welcome? It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it? It's the year 2024, and we're about to embark on a journey around the globe to explore 10 countries where, for various reasons, Americans might not be received with open arms. As we delve into our list, the first country we're visiting is none other than North Korea. North Korea's relationship with America has been strained for decades due to political differences and historical conflicts. In 2024, it remains one of the few countries where Americans are strongly discouraged from visiting. The U.S. State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for North Korea, which means do not travel. This advisory is due to serious risks to safety and security, and the threat of long-term detention of U.S. nationals. So, while it may be an intriguing destination, it's best to enjoy its mysteries from afar. Let's move on to our next destination, where the reception might be a tad warmer, but still far from welcoming. As we journey on, the second stop on our list is the Islamic Republic of Iran. Iran, with its rich history and diverse culture, has unfortunately been a contentious destination for American travelers in recent years. Similar to North Korea, the U.S. State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Iran, citing the risk of kidnapping, arrest, and detention of U.S. citizens. The political tension between the two nations has made travel challenging, if not impossible, for most Americans. Despite its stunning architecture, vibrant markets, and warm-hearted locals, the risks involved in visiting this country at present make it a difficult choice for American tourists. Now, let's continue our exploration to another country which, despite its beauty, remains a no-go for American travelers. As we continue our global adventure, our next destination is the vibrant island of Cuba. Known for its colorful architecture, classic cars, and vibrant music, Cuba has long been a dream destination for many. However, due to the strained political relations between the U.S. and Cuba, American tourists are faced with several restrictions when planning a trip to this Caribbean gem. Despite the Obama administration's efforts to ease travel restrictions in 2015, the Trump administration later reversed many of these changes. In 2024, American citizens are still not permitted to visit Cuba as tourists. They can only travel under specific licenses, such as for family visits, journalistic activity, or humanitarian projects. This has kept the American influence minimal in Cuba, preserving its unique culture and charm, but also keeping it out of reach for most American tourists. As we journey on, we'll discover yet another destination not particularly welcoming to American travelers in recent years. As we journey further into our exploration of countries where American tourists may find a cold welcome, we next turn our gaze to the vast lands of Russia. A country of rich history, unparalleled landscapes, and grand architectural marvels, Russia is a treasure trove of cultural experiences. However, the geopolitical tensions between the U.S. and Russia have made it a challenging destination for American tourists. In the wake of the 2014 Ukraine crisis, the relationship between the two nations has been marked by sanctions, diplomatic expulsions, and increased military posturing. In 2024, the situation remains tense, and travel advisories often warn American tourists of harassment and intrusive surveillance by law enforcement and security services. Despite these warnings, many intrepid American adventurers still make the journey to experience the splendors of Russia, from the awe-inspiring domes of St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow to the breathtaking wilderness of Siberia. However, they often do so with caution, keeping a keen eye on the political climate and staying vigilant while they explore the vast expanse of this enigmatic country. As we delve deeper, we'll encounter one more fascinating destination where American tourists tread lightly. As we move forward on our globe-trotting adventure, our next stop brings us to the Orient, to a country known as much for its millennia-old culture as its modern-day prowess, China. Emerging as a global superpower, China's economic, political, and technological strides have been nothing short of spectacular. But beneath the surface of this fascinating nation lies a complex relationship with the United States. Tensions escalated in 2018 with the start of a trade war, and the relations have been strained ever since, with issues like cyber espionage, human rights abuses, and territorial disputes adding fuel to the fire. American tourists, while not outright banned, are often met with a lukewarm reception and a sense of suspicion. Travel advisories caution American tourists about arbitrary enforcement of local laws, exit bans, and the risk of being used as a pawn in the broader geopolitical conflict. Yet, despite these warnings, many American tourists are drawn to China's rich history and diverse landscape, from the sprawling Great Wall to the bustling streets of Shanghai. However, they venture with caution, aware that the political tensions may cast a shadow over their journey. As we conclude our journey, let's reflect on these intriguing destinations and the unique challenges they present for American tourists. As we continue our journey, we find ourselves venturing into the Middle East, to a country rich in oil reserves and steeped in religious significance, Saudi Arabia. With a culture deeply rooted in Islamic traditions, Saudi Arabia presents a stark contrast to the Western values familiar to American travelers. The country has been frequently criticized for its human rights record, particularly with regards to women's rights and freedom of speech. The murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018 and the subsequent handling of the case by Saudi authorities heaped further strain on U.S.-Saudi relations. Despite the political tension, Saudi Arabia has been making strides to open up its borders to tourism, launching a new visa program in 2019. However, American tourists are often met with mixed feelings, caught between the allure of the country's historical sites, like the ancient Nabatean city of Al-Qaraba, and the unease stemming from the political and cultural differences. As we venture further into this enigmatic country, we are reminded that a tourist's experience can be greatly shaped by the political climate and cultural norms of their destination. As we leave the Middle East behind, our journey takes us to South America, specifically to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. This tropical country is known for its diverse wildlife, stunning landscapes, and rich oil reserves. However, Venezuela's political and economic instability have painted a different picture for American travelers. The country has been grappling with hyperinflation, food and medicine shortages, and political unrest, leading to a mass exodus of Venezuelans. The United States has been highly critical of the Venezuelan government, particularly under the leadership of Nicolas Maduro, whose presidency is considered illegitimate by many countries, including the U.S. This has led to strained relations, with the U.S. imposing sanctions on Venezuela. In 2020, the U.S. indicted Maduro and several other government officials for narco-terrorism, further escalating the tension. For American tourists, Venezuela offers an array of natural wonders like Angel Falls, the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall, and the mesmerizing Canema National Park. However, the U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Venezuela, advising against all travel due to crime, civil unrest, poor health infrastructure, kidnapping, and arbitrary arrest and detention of U.S. citizens. As we delve into the intricacies of Venezuela, it becomes clear that the political turmoil and economic hardships have greatly influenced the perception of this country, making it a less welcoming destination for American travelers. As we continue our exploration, we are reminded that understanding the political and social context of a destination is crucial for a safe and enriching travel experience. In our quest to navigate the world's least welcoming countries for American travelers, we now turn our attention to West Asia, to the heart of the Middle East, Syria. A country that once stood as a beacon of culture and history, Syria is now a land torn apart by a decade-long civil war. Since 2011, the Syrian civil war has led to an estimated 500,000 deaths and caused millions of Syrians to flee their homeland. The United States has been deeply involved in the conflict, supporting the opposition forces against the Syrian government led by President Bashar al-Assad. This involvement has not only strained relations between the two countries, but also made Syria a potentially dangerous place for American tourists. The ancient city of Aleppo, the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus, and the ruins of Palmyra are just some of the cultural treasures that Syria has to offer. However, the ongoing conflict has led to the destruction of many historical sites, and the risk of violence makes travel to Syria extremely perilous. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Syria, advising against all travel due to terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, and armed conflict. As we delve into Syria's complexities, we see a land of rich history and heritage overshadowed by the horrors of war. We are reminded once again that the political and social context of a destination profoundly affects the travel experience, often transforming a once cherished tourist destination into a no-go zone. As we move forward in our journey, we continue to explore these paradoxes, shedding light on the realities that shape our world. In this next chapter, we travel to the northernmost part of Africa, to the land of the Sahara, Libya. A country once known for its ancient Roman and Greek ruins, Libya today is synonymous with political instability and civil unrest. Following the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, the nation plunged into a state of chaos, with rival factions fighting for control. The United States, having played a significant role in Gaddafi's ouster, is viewed with suspicion and animosity by many Libyans. As a result, American travelers might find Libya a hostile environment. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 travel advisory for Libya, citing the threat of kidnapping, robbery, and violence. Despite these challenges, Libya is a country steeped in history. From the well-preserved ruins of Leptis Magna, a prominent city of the Roman Empire, to the prehistoric rock art in the Sahara Desert, Libya's cultural heritage is undeniably rich. Yet the ongoing conflict has led to the destruction of many historical sites and made travel to Libya highly risky. As we delve into Libya's complexities, we see a nation in turmoil, its extraordinary history overshadowed by its present chaos. Join us as we continue to unravel the enigmas of our world, exploring the profound impact of politics and societal upheaval on the travel experience. As we journey further into the heart of the Arab world, we find ourselves in Yemen, a country that has been on the brink of collapse due to a prolonged civil war. Yemen is currently one of the most dangerous places for American tourists, with the U.S. Department of State issuing a Level 4 travel advisory due to the threats of terrorism, civil unrest, health risks, and armed conflict. While Yemen was once a hub for ancient civilizations, known for its stunning architecture and UNESCO heritage sites, the ongoing conflict has turned it into a no-go zone for many travelers. The capital city, Sana'a, home to some of the oldest inhabited areas in the world, is now a battleground. Despite the current situation, Yemen's rich history and cultural heritage cannot be overlooked. From the ancient city of Shibam, often referred to as the Manhattan of the desert, to the breathtaking island of Socotra, with its unique biodiversity, Yemen's past paints a striking contrast to its present. However, with the current instability and security risks, traveling to Yemen remains a significant challenge for any American. As we delve into Yemen's story, we are reminded of the profound consequences of conflict, not just on a country's present state, but also on its rich history and future potential.